Hi everybody, welcome to Psych Student Reacts. In this series, I react to TikTok videos related to mental health. How this works is I search in the TikTok search bar for various topics related to mental health, and I scroll through the top videos and react to them in real time, and I'll even pause and kind of explain and even give my own 2 cents or experience on the topic. Hi everyone, and welcome to the 4th episode of Psych Student Reacts. I'm super excited to be here. Excuse the look, I just got home from physical therapy, and I feel really good. I feel pretty good. So let's get into this week's topic. This week's topic is going to be mental health awareness, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and whenever this episode premieres, it will still be May, so still relevant. So here we go.
Sleep now under my skin, make sure you try to conjure the wind and ease my mind.
So I think that this is really interesting. To preface this, it's obvious I live in America, and so to see the statistics and how they line up with another country such as Australia, I think that it kind of brings to light some more like trends and like some social cues that we might be seeing. Obviously, we know that teens here in America are also very commonly struggling with mental health, but it's still also a very prevalent problem even for adults here in America. I don't have the statistics right in front of me because my brain doesn't hold on to numbers very well, but I do know that the correlations are, I mean, not the correlations, but the numbers are fairly similar to what that of Australia's. I believe that it said that it was 75% were men and 25% were women, as for the suicide statistics. And that, I'm not sure how exactly like the ratio for here it is here in America, but I do know that because of the gender norms, social cues, etc., that a lot of the statistics that we have that between like men and women or male and female are a little skewed, for the simple fact of that there's still a stigma. There is still a very heavy stigma regarding mental health, and especially here in America. I mean, depending on where you are, if you're, some states here in America really do, you can tell that they care about the importance of mental health. But in other states, it's really not that clear cut. It's really not that cut and dry. So it's not, mental health is important for everybody, man or woman. And even if you're a male and you don't, you're not having the best, you really just don't think that you're hanging on, you're not less than, you're not weak. Like everybody goes through this, and it's time that we start to be more open about these things and be more accepting and finding solutions, so that way we can actually stop these things. We can't really stop anything, but we can minimize it at the most. We can make it less than what it is right now. So, but we have to work together to do that. We got to work together to do that. Sorry, I'm getting on a soapbox. So let's move on. I love little 10-second TikToks like this. And I wish I could get on this TikTok trend, but I literally don't have the patience to go through all of my photos to try to, find the best ones. But um, for those who are wondering what they can do for Mental Health Awareness Month, um, if you go to Mental Health America, I believe .org, mentalhealthamerica.org, um, they have a mental health awareness toolkit. You can download that, and it literally tells you how you can be involved or how you can get more involved during Mental Health Awareness Month. And a lot of that involves, calling your local representatives, calling your local senators, telling them to prioritize the bills that are going to create better programs for mental health and create better research that goes into mental health. It's going to fund research that's going to help these issues and has to do with these topics. So there's also other things. You can get involved in your community. If you yourself are passionate about mental health awareness, you can create a support group. You don't have to have special qualifications necessarily to run a support group. However, it helps if you have some sort of training in, say, psychological first aid or psychology, or you have some sort of background when it comes to something like that. But you don't need to have, you don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a therapist to run a support group. A support group is solely a group of people with collective interests or who have experienced similar things coming together and finding support in one another. That's all a support group is. But creating a support group is going to be one of the easiest things that you can do in your community to take action during Mental Health Awareness Month. Aside from that, you can attend your city council meetings, your town hall meetings, attend meetings that it basically creates your community and creates the programs within your community, and find out how you can be more of service. Find out how you can be more involved. Find out types of programs that you can take part in that will benefit mental health. Like I said, the Mental Health America Toolkit can go over that. Again, that link I believe is in Mental Health America. You can literally just Google Mental Health America and the link will pop up. But that's how you can be more involved.
Why can't I hold on? It comes and goes in waves. It always does. Always does. Why can't I hold on?
This is a good one. So this person, they said that this video basically goes over, or it kind of supposed to depict anxiety. I think it's a good one. And I think anybody who has struggled with anxiety or anxiety symptoms should know or should resonate with that. Anxiety literally to me, it always felt like me wanting to scream, like I'm literally internally screaming constantly, but I'm on autopilot. Like I'm just doing what I need to do because I either have to shut down or I have to carry on and just keep going. So I think that this is a really cool idea. And these are also ideas that you can do for Mental Health Awareness Month. You can do a photo series. If you are a creator, a content creator, I mean, obviously, if you're a content creator, you're probably already on this. We're probably already on the trend. So, you can do art stuff. You can draw, do an art challenge. You know how there's Arttober for October. You can do something for mental health awareness with art. I know, for those who don't know, I'm the president of my school's Psych club for this year. I'm nearing the end of my tenure. But I'm currently doing a contest where members can create like a graphic or a logo of some sort that portrays mental health or mental health awareness. And obviously, there's going to be a vote, and it's going to be the winners. You know, there will be a first and second place winner, and yeah. But those are just a couple of ideas that you can do for mental health awareness. And, it's very important because the more that we talk about it, the more that we can normalize it. We can normalize the conversation. It's time that we stop cowering away from it, stop cowering away from mental health conversations because, like, that's the only way that we can destigmatize. It's not Suicide Awareness Month. Suicide Awareness Month is September, by the way. I mean, the video was posted in September last year, so this person was on time. Don't know why it's under this feed, but it's relevant. It is relevant. It does relate to each other, and it is for those who don't know. I think, which side do I have it on? Is it on this side? I have a semicolon tattoo, but behind one of my ears. I can't remember. So if I'm trying to find my words here, I am an attempted suicide survivor, if that's the correct wording. I don't know, but it's a reminder. I remember whenever I first learned about the semicolon tattoo and the meaning behind it, and whenever I knew I had to get one because I pushed myself through a lot. And your life changes at some points. And sometimes a lot of people don't get that second chance because they were successful. And it's a sad experience to know that there could be a light at the end of the tunnel, but you just didn't have the support to get you through it. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that exists in our world, and there's a lot that we can do to prevent it. So I didn't know where I was going with that, but I just wanted to make sure to say something about it because you just never know until it happens. And, sometimes you never know that someone's thinking about it until it happens. So just think about that.
Sleep now under my skin. Make sure you try to conjure the wind and ease my mind.
So there's the question from there's the American one from the first video at the beginning here. Like I said, I was right. I was right for the most part. Like I said, the statistics between men and women are almost the same. Though the one thing that I noticed, they said that I think it was 80% of teenagers. 80% of teenagers were the ones who were most likely affected in Australia from mental health or suicide rates. And here it's 50-50. And that's about what I figured, because here, like I said, there's still such a heavy stigma to do with mental health. So many people are afraid to talk about it, and they wait until it gets to the last moment to and that's the sad part. It's something that I've noticed not just from my own family, but from other families that I know. Like there's a lot of stigma around it, and whenever you are serious about something, you're taught in school to seek help if you don't feel right. If something doesn't feel right, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody you trust. Well, you're supposed to trust your parents. You're supposed to trust your family. But if you go to your family and there's a chance that your family isn't going to listen. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that like for everybody, because there are people who have good families out there who really do care about what they're feeling, like what you're feeling, and how we can straighten it up. How can we turn the mood? How can we raise the mood? How can we be aware of our mental health and not be ashamed of our mental health? Because everybody has mental health. That's a part, like everybody has physical health. So I'm going to get on my soapbox again, but here we go. Just because you're a teenager, you're still allowed to have feelings. You're still allowed to feel the way that you feel. Don't let somebody tell you that just because you're a teenager, like you're just being really emotional and you're just really sensitive, because you don't just grow out of it. You don't just grow out of that. And sometimes it's an indicator that you need more than to grow out of it. Mental health is important, and I'll keep repeating myself like a broken record until things actually change for the better.
Ever since we were little, I would get this feeling like I'm floating outside of my body. Ever since we were little, I would get this feeling like I'm floating outside of my body.
At first I was confused, and then I read the hashtags and it made sense. And then I'm like, this is kind of like a dissociation thing, because it used to happen a lot. There's a lot of things. I mean, surely if you've been on TikTok, you might have floated to the sides of TikTok where people are really open about a lot of their experiences and about the things that they felt during those experiences. And something that's really common when it comes to sexual abuse is that people learn how to start dissociating from their bodies. I can speak to this on a personal level from a relationship that I was in. And I mean, if you know me personally, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it's the generic story of being in an abusive relationship or a toxic relationship, and you kind of losing your bodily autonomy for your own body, like you're used as a doll, and it's not the best feeling. And sometimes you will, towards the end, it's all of the time, you learn how to dissociate, so that way you just get through it. But then you find your power and you realize that you can leave those situations. And that's again another little soapbox, my little reaction that I like to go off of just from going off of this. So, moving on.
Hi Sharks, my name's Sophie Nistico. I'm from Trumbull, Connecticut, and I am here seeking $250,000 for 10% of my business. Sharks, you may not be able to tell from the big smile that I have on my face, but I cry, and I cry a lot. But guess what? We all cry because we're human. Kevin, I know you have a tough exterior, but I've seen even you shed a tear in the tank.
Never happens.
I'm on a mission to destigmatize mental health, as it's not something that we should hide, but rather something that we should embrace and wear it proudly. And that's exactly why I created See the Way I See, a size-inclusive mental health awareness clothing brand that emphasizes positive affirmations in a way that's never been done before. What we do is simple. We add signature, reassuring reminders to the sleeves of your sweatshirts to give people that little boost that they find themselves needing. So what do you say? Are you ready to see the way I see?
Let's talk about sales. What are you going to sell this year?
So sales for this year would be $260,000.
Is that year to date?
Actually, I'm sorry, $260,000 in 24 hours.
What?
Hi, Sharks. My name's Sophie Nis-
Okay, so like it's been a while since I watched Shark Tank, but I love this idea, and I love things like this. I actually have a little Spreadshirt account, like I had created like some little mock-up little mental health things. Doesn't really sell very much, but it's a good idea. Okay, like anybody can sell anything like this. But to really come up with a unique idea, like making sure to inscribe things on the like inner sleeve, or like, the part that's like here. It's a really good idea. I love that. I love that. I love that. I like knowing that people can be really creative and embracing that mental health exists, and embracing that, just that it's something that we shouldn't steer around, and that we should just embrace it. It's a part of us. It's kind of a part of our personalities, and I'm not saying mental illness, I'm saying mental health. There are aspects of mental health that are neither good nor bad. And, sometimes like you can use those to, what's the word? Kind of like fine tune your personality in a way. Like there's like my anxiety for the longest time was like a part of my personality, until I learned how to get like transmute like that energy into my focus and into my drive and into my passion. It takes practice, and obviously it takes therapy, but it helps, and it's possible, and you can do it.
You've got stars in your eyes, so let's paint the sky.
This beginning statement is obviously false. You can't tell, and that just solidifies or validates the statement that I made before, that you can't tell. You can't just assume. Like, people who are planning something like this, or planning to unalive themselves, they're not going to tell people. They're not going to act like it, because obviously someone's going to reach out and someone's going to do something. And even though that's what we want, like, we want to help, we want good things to happen, not bad things. And that's just the sad thing, that people feel like there's really no hope to just keep going. And as someone who's had these thoughts periodically, over time, it's just one of those things. Like, sometimes the thoughts just come. Sometimes there are personality disorders or other mental illness that can, make you more apt to having these thoughts and these feelings. Things like borderline personality disorder. There's such there's even a stigma when it comes to, like suicidal attempts with certain people until they receive certain diagnoses. Like, suicide is looked at different, or like the attempts are looked at differently. Like, if you have borderline personality disorder, the doctor's going to expect that, because they're going to be like, oh, well, that makes sense, because, you're not doing it for attention like some people, which is totally wrong, by the way, believe. It's a hard way to explain it, but in borderline personality disorder, suicidal attempts usually happen because there's no other way to cope with the emotions. Usually, like, borderline personality disorder usually comes from a lot of trauma and abuse throughout childhood, it's not saying that that's that's how all cases start, but there is a strong correlation between people who've had traumatic childhoods and the development of borderline personality disorder later on. A lot of the times, the diagnoses won't come until later on during adulthood. And it affects friendships, relationships. It affects the way that you handle issues, especially interpersonal issues. So if you have relationship problems, or if you don't seem to hold on to friends very easily, that can be one of the signs of borderline personality disorder, just because of that. But anyways, how it relates to the whole suicide thing is because substance use and abuse also is strongly correlated with borderline personality disorder. And so you'll get sometimes people with BPD will gravitate towards drinking, and then they'll gravitate towards taking painkillers, or mixing certain things to help numb the pain, because they don't know how else to cope with the emotional pain other than numbing themselves with something. So it's one of those things that you have to learn coping mechanisms. You have to learn proper mechanisms to control these urges, or these feelings, these emotions, because that's how the suicide attempts are mixed into the etiology or the development of BPD. I feel bad for this person, because that's what I mean about the stigma. There's a stigma with mental health, and yeah, it's possible that women are a part of it. I mean, it's gonna happen. That's why we have to stop. We have to stop thinking about mental health in such a negative way. This is the issue. This literally right here, this kid is not, he feels like he can't be open. Now, here's the thing though, obviously. This kid probably looks like they're in their teens, and opening up to another teenage girl who's probably also experiencing some emotional issues, it's a lot. It might be overwhelming. So there's so many things that can be discussed here in this point, because mental health, while it's something that you should be able to talk to people who you can trust about, you do also need to get a professional involved, a professional who knows how to help you cognitively make sense of these thoughts, because the way that we think about things it affects the way that we feel about things, and that's where CBT comes in. But that's another video. We'll do one more video and then we'll wrap it up.
You didn't actually cure yourself overnight. That is the meds working. So keep taking them. Okay. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. You didn't.
Good old Elise Myers. It's always a treasure to see her. She actually posted this last May for last Mental Health Awareness Month, but still absolutely relevant because it is May, but 2023. And yeah, so I am more of a holistic person. I used to be on tons of meds, literally tons. And those were the worst years of my life. Worst experience, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Okay, but in some cases, people, you do need them. If the doctor is prescribing them, then you should probably take them. But give them a chance to work. You know, actually take them as prescribed and give it at least 6 months. Most doctors say 6 weeks, but 6 months, maybe. But, you know, obviously, if the side effects start to get bad, tell your doctor. Just really take care of yourself. Take things as they're prescribed and be honest about the way that you feel to your doctor, because, you know, too much and too less, both of those can do bad things. You know, you want to make sure that you're hitting it just right. And then sometimes at some point you might be able to wean yourself off of medications, and you can start to better manage on your own once you can get a better feel for, you know, your natural cycles and your natural flow, etc., etc. But yeah, good old Elise Myers. So with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And of course, if you like this series, or if you are interested in anything else that I do, make sure that you like and subscribe and ring the bell so you are notified whenever new videos come out. These videos should be coming out every Monday. And, you know, I do their 12-week series. So I hope you enjoy. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!